Welcome back to another episode of Cobra TV. With the news being rather stagnant, there really isn't much to report on. So I would like to ask all of you, in between the dry spells of news and anything that we can dig up, what would you like to see here on Cobra TV? What would you like me to talk about, or what kind of show would you like to see in between? I also would like to state that I am going to be doing gameplays of No Man's Sky when it does come out. And the first upload is going to be just my first experience in No Man's Sky, period. And then after that, there's going to be a regular show with a very strong theme to it. And I'm really excited about it. The No Man's Sky website that we are building, the social network that's almost like Facebook, but for No Man's Sky explorers, is coming along just great. If you would like to donate to help us with the bandwidth, anyone that does donate will get immediate early access to the website. Just tell me the name that you guys used when you donated. You can find the link to donate on my banner on my main YouTube channel page, right on the Cobra TV banner, or in the description below. Today I'm going to leave you guys with an awesome subcast with a subscriber. If you guys want to come on the show, just go ahead and add me on Skype and then just message me. Tell me that you want to come on the show and message me a lot. I do get a lot of messages from time to time, and the more you message, the more I'm going to see your message stick out. But again, please remember that when people are in subcalls, you know, their imaginations go wild. We all know what's in No Man's Sky and what it's about and what to expect. We know all the confirmed facts that Sean Murray and Hello Games have released, but it's fun to speculate. It's fun to wonder the future of this game and wonder what kind of updates will Sean Murray add to the game after we played the core of the game. As always, you guys know that I love you. I have the best community here. I am so thankful that you guys are here. You have no idea. Please enjoy the show. Now, joining me on the call is MDR, who is a subscriber and a member of the No Man's Sky Facebook group that I belong to, which has grown to like over 1,000 members in such a short time. And if any of you are watching that are not part of that, click the link down below and come on over and join us. We have such a great time, and there's no fighting, no arguing, no trolling in this No Man's Sky Facebook group. It's quite amazing. What is No Man's Sky going to be like in, you know, once we all have it and you run into that person, that random stranger that's going to be rare, we think, and what's going to happen? Are we going to have the DayZ kill on sight, you know, if we do recognize that it's a online player, because you're not going to have a gamer tag above you. So what it brought a question like, what could we expect? Like, I don't think that we're gonna have the whole DayZ attitude in No Man's Sky. I think going and playing for months without running into anybody, and then finally.
But there's this thing that I read on the information list that if you have No Man's Sky on the PS4 and I have it and we're friends, then I can actually see you on my galactic map. But there is a very, very big distance apparently between each other, so there's no point in actually meeting up because that's gonna take a lot of time to get to each other. So
it will take a lot of time. But here's how I feel about that. It to the center of the first galaxy, which we all start in, it only takes 40 to 100 hours to get to the center. So if you bomb rush it from one end of the galaxy to the other is 200 hours or 80 hours. So if you're playing No Man's Sky and your whole goal is not to go to the center but to find your friend, then that's about the size of a small campaign single player game. 40 to 100 hours. And once you get to your friend, you're going to have done everything in No Man's Sky that Sean Murray and Hello Games wanted you to do, because you're gonna have to mine to get hyperdrive fuel. And while you're doing that, you're gonna see things and you're gonna have the opportunity to name those things. So essentially, you're still playing No Man's Sky the way it was intended, except you've made finding your friend your main goal. So it's almost like No Man's Sky, the hide and seek friendship game, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
and what you guys finally do, imagine sitting on a mountainside and just sitting there and just chatting over Skype about what adventures and dangers and beautiful things you guys ran into trying to get to each other.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I mean, what Sean Murray suggested about going to the center, even if you meet up with your friend and from there you go straight to the center, it will be quite difficult because have you heard of the game called Starbound?
Yes, I have.
That's another game where you can actually go to the higher level planet systems, but if you don't gather up the right equipment and upgrade your ship in the proper way, then it's just going to be a miserable journey because you won't be able to defend yourself against anything in that section. So
that's very true.
I think with No Man's Sky, as you go deeper, because it becomes harder, it will be actually quite hard because that portal system they have now in No Man's Sky, where you go on certain planets and there's the ancient temples, where you can go through the portals. It takes you to one of the planets that's closer to the center, and that's supposed to show you a taste of what is to be expected once you reach the center. So Sean said that you can go inside, but you won't have your spaceship, gather up any resources you want, and then get out of there because you won't make it. So the whole point is to see how hard it is before you actually reach the center and if you can make it or not.
And that is very true. And one of the things that I've noticed about Sean Murray, he's hiding so much stuff. Like some of his answers are very contradicting to his other answers. Like someone said, he was asked in Game Informer, would you want your friend with you at the center of the galaxy? And he said, without giving too much away, yes. So and now I'm thinking, all right, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
But PvP, I do not think that when you meet a random stranger in No Man's Sky, on that rare occasion, you know, accidentally running into somebody, I don't think they're going to shoot. It's going to be such a rare occasion that you're going to think, oh my God, I'm not alone. Who is this person? You know? Yeah. And it's going to be a moment that you're going to want to share with that other person. And you guys are going to want to land, get out, and take a look at each other and see what, you know, you might look like, you know, in that suit, or what your suit looks like. But I think gaming is actually changing in a good way. And I've been playing a lot of H1Z1, and it's just like DayZ, but in H1Z1, I don't know if it's just because it's a brand new game and people just started playing it, but there's no, I've only been killed on sight once, and I've ran into so many people. And on one occasion, I walked into this house and there was two people, and I scared him because I didn't know that anybody was in there. And he ran around a corner and he started shouting. He pulled out a gun and he started shouting, "Are you friendly? Are you friendly?" And then I replied back saying, "I'm friendly. I have no weapons. I have no food. I'm starving to death, dude. I'll leave." So he comes around a corner with his gun aimed right at my head, and he drops some food and water for me. And then I pick it up, and then he says, "All right, now leave. Go about your business." And then I'm like, wow, you know, this guy could have killed me. You know, I had no way to defend myself except for my fist, but he let me go. And I think the attitudes of gaming is actually changing. And based upon what I've seen in the No Man's Sky Facebook group, the comments in my videos, No Man's Sky has a fan base unlike any other fan base of any game. We're all very respectful to each other. You know, there's no fighting between us, and we really don't want to kill on sight. And I think that if that fan base stays the way it is and it grows, I do not think that if we run into a random player in No Man's Sky that we're going to have kill on sight.
I think the reason why people might be more respectful with each other in No Man's Sky is because they will reach a point where they will know how hard it is to actually be killed by the malevolent force or something, the enemies in No Man's Sky. So they'll know how hard it is to actually gain what they lost and continue. And because it's such a huge universe, running into someone will be so rare, then killing them won't really be worth it. It will last, 5 seconds to kill someone, and then you won't see another person.
Exactly.
About so long, no?
Yeah. You'll be wondering, man, I wonder if I hadn't killed him, what would my game be like, you know?
Yes.
It's just, it's...
the perfect example of a huge open world game that's multiplayer based. If you've heard of a game called The Hunter, it's on Steam currently.
I have not.
It's a game that's in a really, really big open world forest type of environment where you start as a hunter and you try track down different animals and kill them. But if you're playing with people, it's generated, the multiplayer is in a different way. Like, for example, if I start with you playing now, I will start about 5,000 meters away from you, and in order for me to get to you, we can see each other on our maps, but that will take at least 4 hours for me to reach to you because we're so far away.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's really intense. I played with my brother, and it wasn't worth it getting to each other and then just dying after a while, because it's quite a brutal game. With No Man's Sky, what I think is quite interesting is that because you can use the hyperdrive, you can actually go to different systems much faster instead of traveling there by flying in a monotonous way.
Right, but in No Man's Sky, you can only jump a certain amount of distance.
Yes. Depending on
Murray,
how upgrade.
when he did it in the trailer, he actually cheated just to show how big the galaxy is. So you cannot jump as far as what he did. So in No Man's Sky, though, when you die, you respawn either, okay, if you're on foot and you die, say you're with your friend and you die and you're on a planet and you're going to respawn next to your ship.
Yes.
If you're in your ship, you're going to respawn in a life pod ship. So you're not going to like respawn back to where you started and be like so far away from your friend again. You're still going to be in the same vicinity. And if this is a friend, because I've got a friend that I've gamed with for almost a decade, right? And I'd say about 7 years, almost, rounding up. But we are very close. And if he wants to go to bed, I'll put the gamepad down and I'll go to bed. I won't keep traveling without him. And if I do, I'm going to stay in that same solar system while, he's not online. But if you've got a great friend who's willing to do that, then you guys can stay together.
I think it really depends on the timing. If your friend is really, his hours of work is completely the opposite of yours, then it might be hard. Like, for example, if I try to play with someone in America, because there's an 8-hour almost difference, it's going to be extremely hard.
Yeah, you're right. And the person that I play with, we have a 6-hour difference, but we always play at the same time. So wow. It's the friendship thing. If you have somebody that's truly a real good friend, then you can make this work. But also keep in mind, Sean Murray did say that he wanted to add a more traditional multiplayer later down the line after the game's release, something that he is extremely excited about.
Oh, must be nice. I wonder how that's going to work.
I don't know. I don't know what he has in mind. He said he didn't want to talk about it, so it's like, all right, buddy, you piqued my interest, and now.
I think it must be something to do with PvP fighting with the spaceships.
I don't think so. I think it's more like co-op. Like he wants to, add maybe something for us to get together, but I don't think he wants to give us that right away. I think he wants us to play the core of the game, his main idea, his dream. And then once we've done that to a certain point, then I think we're going to get the ability to be able to get together and stay together easily. But I don't expect to see that for at least a year after the game.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting.
Very, very interesting. I can't wait. And to tell you the truth, I want to be able to wait a year after the game's released before it's easy to get to your friend, because I love the fact that it's hard to find somebody. People are like, oh, you're going to be disappointed because it's going to be hard to find your friend. Like, dude, that's what I like. You know, I like the fact that it's challenging. It's a game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a game in itself. You know, it's going to be part of No Man's Sky to me.
Yeah, and Sean Murray does he does say that the game's going to be hard and some people are going to be disappointed, but hey, he says that's how it's going to be because it's his vision and stuff like that in gaming.
I'm tired. Yeah, you're right. And I'm tired of these AAA games making games that are just so easy for people who are bad at playing games, and you know, you don't have to try.
Yeah, and he says also that he's not going to have any tutorials, so he wants the community to interact with each other and ask, like, how do you get there, and how did you find this, and what type of environment and all of that, which is going to raise a huge community. A lot of YouTubers are going to cover No Man's Sky.
Oh,
and it's going to be actually a pretty fun year once it's released.
It will.
And also, like, finding other players. What concerns me is the AI that we are familiar with is the malevolent force, right?
No, the malevolent force are the
malevolent. Yes.
Yeah, they are the guardian robots that are on some of the planets that will attack you if you start destroying the environment by mining or killing the animals.
Yes, and they protect the galaxy. They keep the balance.
Yes, so they're not malevolent after all. They're, I think the whole thing behind that was he was trying to interest us, or they just changed their mind entirely and made them peacekeeping guarding robots.
Yes.
But it's going to definitely make it a little difficult for you to mine. Like, say you come across a big mining area and you just start blasting everything up. I think that they're going to get a little upset and come attack you. And they're like 2-story, 3-story tall robots, you know?
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite intimidating.
Yeah, and also, like, that's not a big issue. You can always go somewhere where you don't see any of them. So, I mean, okay, but if you do find that rare mineral that's right next to a base or a campsite or whatever they have, then that's going to be difficult. Because once you start killing them, then they remember you in that system and they'll come after you without being provoked next time you're in the same system.
Well, that's the Galactic Police.
Yes. Oh, that's a different force.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Galactic Police, and that'll happen if you are attacking a space station. They will remember you and they will come after you, and so will the other factions that you're attacking. But the malevolent force, I believe I read somewhere that once you take care of that situation, it's pretty much over with.
Yes. Oh, okay. And also another thing, notice I was playing the trailers over and over, and I noticed that there's actually quite a large number of different AI spaceships that are completely unique and different to each other. So me spotting someone that's an actual player and trying to figure out if they are a player or an AI, it's going to be a bit tiring because it's, I don't know, like, for example, see it this way. Say you're in the mall now and you're looking for someone that you don't know how they look like, and you're meeting them for the first time, and there's so many people in the mall and you're just looking around, but think of those people as being AIs, and that person you have to meet is the actual player. Won't it be a bit tiring to constantly be looking for someone that is an actual player?
Well, think of it like this. In Grand Theft Auto 5, when the AI are driving around, can you tell the difference between an online player driving and the AI driving?
Yeah, because they don't drive like maniacs. They drive normally.
Right. And when people are flying in No Man's Sky, they're not going to be flying on the straight and narrow path and slow speeds, and you know, you're going to be able to tell just by the movements alone that that's an actual player.
Yeah, I think so. Like
you're going to tell, trust me.
Probably the easiest way to tell if someone was a player is like shooting 3 times or 4 times, like just quick shots to show them that, oh, okay, that AI is not malfunctioning. It's an actual player showing me that he's a player, you know?
Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of that in No Man's Sky. I played a game called Grand Theft Auto 4 for like 5 years, and we had this etiquette, you know, and a kind of like way to communicate, because a lot of us we weren't on mic. So, you know, certain things like jumping would show that that we're peaceful and we're not going to shoot. And other things like if you fired one rocket, if you're in a helicopter and you fired one rocket away from the player, that indicated that you wanted a dogfight and you're ready to fight, and you have to wait for that other player's rocket. If you don't see it, then he's not ready or he doesn't want to. So there's going to be things like that in No Man's Sky that are there. It's just going to be organic and just grow.
Yeah, I see. Well, it's very hard to speculate around the game since we haven't played it yet. It's like all this guessing that we're trying to do about how it will be.
Yeah.
And all that.
Oh yeah. And
I'm curious about the arcadey style that Sean mentioned about the combat.
Well, he meant that it's not going to be like Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen, to where there's going to be like a big learning curve on how to fly and how to operate your spaceship. No Man's Sky is just going to be pretty much point and fly. You know, you're able to easily fly here. There's not going to be a lot of learning on how to maneuver. You know, it's just going to be pretty simple, straightforward flying. There is going to be barrel rolls and tricks that you can do, because as we've seen in the trailers, but it's not going to have that Elite Dangerous difficulty.
Yeah, no, that's a bit insane. I mean, to do that in every planet and all that, it's going to be very tiring. So I think it's a good idea they're keeping it simple.
Yeah, I would like to see like a tiny bit of a balance between that. You know, I want it to be a little tiny bit difficult on the planets to fly, because I want to have that fear that I could accidentally crash my ship.
Yes, that's a very good point.
And because there's, you know, No Man's Sky seems to be built on consequence, and I think that's a big consequence that they really should add in. You know, that's just my opinion. I mean, people might disagree.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point, yes. I think they should add that in. It will be much more fun that way.
Not too hard, but just a little bit of, you know, using physics in there to maybe, if you need to turn real fast, that you're still going to be going backwards until you can kind of gain momentum to go forwards, you know?
Yes, yes.
To where if you don't turn at the right moment, you could smack right into a mountainside.
Yeah, because if they make it too easy, then it's going to be very boring and monotonous to do the same kind of flight over and over and not have any difficulty that you have to master. So right. I think it's a good idea that they should add some physics to flying that's quite challenging.
And they probably have, you know, it's probably not even a concern I should even worry about, or, you know, it's probably already been put in there.
Probably, yeah, it would be a nice idea. In one of the trailers, I saw this one moment where one of those little flying AIs was coming out of a cave, and the player then shot this laser beam at it. What might that be? Do you think that might be the mining tool?
Oh, you're talking about the drone?
Yes, the drone. The player shot that laser beam at.
Okay,
the weapon.
Oh, you're talking about the weapon.
Yes.
That weapon is the multi-tool. Now, you could use it for mining, or you could upgrade it to combat situations. You could upgrade the multi-tool to how you want to play. But just because you upgrade it for combat doesn't mean, in my opinion, that it still cannot mine.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice, actually. And there was also another thing that talked about mining, which you use grenades to blow up the mining spots.
Oh yeah,
the plasma grenades.
Yep, the plasma grenades. Which there's a video game that shows like mining and destroying the environment to get resources, and it looks pretty cool. And I cannot find that video. Like, I found it once. I'm like, oh man, I gotta put this in one of the videos to kind of show an example of what it might be like in No Man's Sky, but I cannot find it.
Wow.
I can't even remember what the game was called, but yeah. The fact that the whole environment is destructible amazes me. But I just wonder to what extent, and does it respawn?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Probably other players that go there, they won't see the destruction of the site. It will just be stored on your local PS4, for example.
It could be, or you could be changing the math of that environment forever.
Probably, like, for every person that goes by there. So it's
possibly, yeah.
Quite nice, because I think it will just be stored locally if you're playing the offline mode that Sean suggested. There's going to be an offline one.
Definitely, yeah, you are right. But he also did say whatever you do has permanence. So,
yes.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah. The multiplayer probably is going to be the permanent one for everyone.
Yeah.
Probably change that. Yeah, but the offline one, I don't think people. To be honest, the only people that are going to play that are the people that want to torrent the game once it's out on PC, and the ones that just want to test it out to see how it is or something, because it can be quite boring knowing that it's only you and no one else.
Right.
So that's I don't know, the fact that there is the multiplayer, that there's other players, that gives you hope to be more excited. Even if you play like 200 hours in the game, you'll still be excited to find someone else on the planet. But if you're playing single player for 200 hours, and I don't really see the point there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But the offline modes for people who do not have like internet connection,
yes,
or their internet connection's bad, I think he just wants everybody to like be able to enjoy the game. There is a lot of people out there that don't have internet connection.
Yeah, that is true, yes. But is there going to be any physical copies of the game? I saw there was a petition for 1,000 signatures for different for physical copies that Hello Games can make, but I'm not sure everyone signed it. I was one of the people that signed the petition for physical copies.
Did you not see my 2 videos where I actually uploaded proof that it's going to have a physical copy?
Oh no, I haven't seen those.
Oh yeah. I contacted Sony and asked them if there was going to be a physical, and we did it on 2 different occasions and got the same answer twice. Yes, it's going to be digital and physical. Sony confirmed it.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, go through my videos, man. There's a lot of info in there.
I will, yes, I will. And it's going to be 5 gigs apparently.
Yeah, around about. Yep.
Oh, nice.
But I think a lot of people like myself, we want the physical copy just because it's such a turning point in gaming history that I want to own, and I want to, find a way. I might even buy 2 for PS4 and just take one and frame it, Or I would like to have like, I don't know, buy a concept art of a book of Hello Games concept art, and be able to have
signed.
Not like right. Not like a strategy guide, just a book of art from Grant Duncan and some of those other guys. I think it'd be really cool. Dude, it was amazing having you come on the show, and that video, I enjoyed it. I really did. It's some good creative thinking.
Thank you.
But is there any social networks you'd like to throw out there?
Well, I'm on Twitter a lot, and now I'm currently just following No Man's Sky related content. So if anyone wants to hit me up on Twitter, it's @officiallymdr. That's pretty much it. I put a lot of No Man's Sky fan art sometimes. Okay, well, I've put 3 so far.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for the conversation. It was quite inspiring.
Dude, I enjoyed it so much, man. And we will have more talks, and
You know that whole flood story? I didn't buy that at all in the beginning. I was, okay, they're talking shit because now they hyped up to touch a game and they can't make it. I thought they were talking nonsense, but no, they went through hell and back, but they're making a very, very good game that a lot of other companies wish they could make.
Yeah, they almost died in the plane crash too.